What is going on, everybody in Mac Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a speed test between the Blu G90 and the Moto G7 Power. Stay tuned.
What the?
This is going to be a speed test between the Blu G90 and the Moto G7 Power. And the first thing I want to discuss are the specifications on paper for each device. Now with the Blu G90 here, it's going to be an octa-core chipset inside this device. It's going to be the Helio A25, and that is clocked at 1.8 gigahertz. And for the GPU, it's going to be the Power VR Rogue GE8320. Now this device is going to have 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, it's going to be running Android 10 with security patch of February 5th, 2020. Pretty old, I know. Now with the Moto G7 Power here, we're going to have the Snapdragon 632 inside this device. Although it says 636 on the CPU Z app, trust me, it's the 632. And that is clocked at 1.8 gigahertz. And for the GPU, it's going to be the Adreno 506. Out of the box, this device is going to have 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. And it's currently running Android 9 with security patch of June 1st, 2020. Waiting on that Android 10 update, Motorola, any day now. So as far as the specifications on paper, I'm going to go ahead and give that to the Blu G90.
What?
4 gigs of RAM. It has 64 gigs of internal storage. Yeah, more RAM, more storage. I'm going to give it to the G90. Right now having a score of 1 and the Moto G7 Power having a score of 0. Let's get to the next part of the speed test. So Mac Squad, let's open up this water. Don't you hate when you open up water or something sometimes and the whole, like everything just comes off? I mean, everything. Look at this. All right, let's get back to the video. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is the application open and RAM management test. And so basically what that is opening up applications at the same time on each device to see which one can open it faster. And then afterwards, we test the RAM to see which one can hold it in the background better. First one is going to be Play Store. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the G7 Power. Next application is going to be YouTube. 3, 2, 1. That goes to the G7 Power. The next application we're going to do here is Amazon. 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Blu G90. The next application we're going to open up here is Best Buy in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Blu G90. It's not that slow, right? The next application we're going to open up here is Facebook in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G7 Power. The next application we're going to open up here is Instagram in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G7 Power. The next application we're going to open up is Spotify in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the Moto G7 Power. Looks like the Blu G90 is having a little bit of a struggle there. Yeah. Oof. Can you say destroyed? Probably gonna be the title of the video. Destroyed. Yeah, that goes to the Moto G7 Power. So now that we got the application opening part of the test out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the RAM. First app is Play Store, held by both. YouTube, held by the G90. Amazon, held by the G90. Best Buy, held by the G90. Facebook, held by the G90. Instagram, held by the G90. See, that's how you know it was held, because it didn't have to refresh anything. Spotify, held by the G90. And last but not least, Call of Duty, held by the G90. So now that we got the RAM portion of the test out of the way here, I'm going to have to declare the winner to be the Blu G90 here, and I'm going to explain why. So although it didn't open up those applications, or it didn't open up every single application faster than the G7 Power, when it came to the RAM management part of the test, you saw the difference there. And I would rather have better RAM in a phone over a phone opening up the application faster. That's cool and all, but if I got to keep reloading, what's the point? So for that reason, the Blu G90 is going to take this W here with a score now of 2 for the G90 and 0 for the G7 Power. Let's get to the next part of the speed test here and see what happens. So with this next part of the speed test here, what I'm going to be doing is comparing the Antutu benchmark numbers, the Geekbench numbers, and also going to run the Speedtest.net app to see which device can pull down the faster data speeds. Now, because of a technical error here, I can't run the Antutu benchmark test. So with the Blu G90 here, we got a single core score of 141 and a multi-core score of 844, which, to be a budget phone and to have that CPU inside, I'm not upset about that at all. It is on Android 10. You can definitely get away with this type of performance here. But when you compare it to the Moto G7 Power, which has a score of 269 for the single core and a 1069 for the multi-core, yeah, that's going to be a little bit better performance than the G90 here. And if we're comparing these devices directly to each other, this one is faster. So let's go ahead and run over to the Speedtest.net app and see which device can pull down the fastest data speeds. So both devices are connected to the same exact network here. And what I'm going to do is just run each test separately. I don't want to run them at the same time. That does cause a little bit of, interference with the signal here. I've seen it many a time. So this is how I'm going to run it here. So first one is going to be the Blu G90, and then we're going to do the G7 Power. I'm going to speed up this part of the video here so that you're not sitting through all that silence. And we're going to get that started right now. And so, by the way, HBO Max, I'm good. I don't want anything to do with any of your 14 different streaming apps. Being that the devices are done with the speed test here, we can see that the G90 had a down speed of 21.9 and an up speed of 17.2, while the G7 Power had a down speed of 26.5 and an up of 20.5. So definitely faster as far as data speeds here. And being that it had a higher score with the Geekbench here, this part of the speed test is going to have to go to the G7 Power. And so it won't be a shutout here. With a score now of 2 for the G90 and 1 for the G7 Power, let's get to the next part of the speed test here and see which device can pull away with that one. So with this next part of the speed test here, what I'm going to be doing is just simply installing 3 of the top applications here from the Play Store. And whichever device installs 2 of those 3 faster than the other automatically wins this part of the speed test here. So the first application that I pulled up is Hulu here, Stream TV. We all know what Hulu is, right? Come on now. And that's the first application that we're going to install. And we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1. And that goes to the G7 Power. And with all that smack I was just talking about HBO Max, let's go ahead and install the application on the phone just for a little bit of a giggle here. Yeah, that's going to be the next application, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. Who wants HBO the most? So let's see what happens. Looks like the G7 Power. Oh, looks like we got some notifications there. Sorry about that, y'all. By the way, I don't give any breaks when it comes to devices having struggles with connecting to the Wi-Fi to download here. If it messes up, it's not nobody else's fault but the device. See, now it's connecting here, and the G7 Power is already installing, so we already know who's this is going to go to. And I'm going to go ahead and say it again. This goes to the G7 Power. So being that the G7 Power installed 2 of those 3 applications faster than the Blu G90 here, it automatically wins this part of the speed test. And so now the score is even. We got 2 for the Blu G90 and 2 for the Moto G7 Power. So now with this last part of the speed test here, we're going to see which device can pull away with the victory. So with this next part of the speed test here, it is quite simple. All I'm going to be doing is just simply restarting the devices to see which one can power off and power back on faster than the other. And I don't want to talk too much about this here. I'm gonna go ahead and get that started to see which device wins. In 3, 2, 1. If I got money on it, I'm gonna say the G7 Power. Let's see what happens. And that goes to the G7 Power with the comeback victory. But Mask Squad, let me know in the comment section below, which device did you think was going to win this speed test here? Did you think it was going to be the G7 Power, or did you think the Blu G90 had a chance of taking it here? Let me know. And if you're new to the channel here, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any coverage when it comes to doing speed tests with budget devices like the Blu G90 and the Moto G7 Power. And Mask Squad, like this video here so that other people just like you can get a little bit more help when it comes to researching budget devices like the Blu G90 and the Moto G7 Power. And sometimes you might see it in the speed test, like this video here. And last but not least, share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.